Greetings, upstanders. Dr. O here. And like many people, I did not watch Trump's address to Congress live. I was part of the 24-hour Black news coverage that began the night before, and that was streaming for the entire day. It was a beautiful thing. Everybody from Joyanne Reed to Don Lemon to Angela Rye, who's one of the main organizers of this, Clay Kane, we had a whole streaming for 24 hours straight of just news. And of course, while Trump's speech was going on, Reverend Barber was giving a speech through the Black Star Network with Roland Martin. So many of us were putting our attention on that because we didn't want to give this administration the eyeballs and ratings this man covered so much. So many of us would, read transcripts of the speech and, watch parts of it later and so on. So when we were saying don't watch it, it wasn't saying don't be informed. It was don't give this man the eyeballs he wants because we know that he cares about ratings. So now that we're here and having, looked at the speech and read parts of the speech and so on and so forth, it was just exactly what we were expecting. A litany of lies. We were just expecting every single thing to be a lie. We were expecting a lot of the vitriol and divisiveness, and we got that. And so many people who I'm watching in terms of their responses are criticizing, as expected, are criticizing the Democrats, have more smoke for the Democrats than they do for Trump. And look, I'll be honest. I do believe that people should not have attended. I do believe that Democrats should have also walked out with Representative Al Green in terms of the way that he was treated. But is that really where the focus and attention is going to be? When you had other members of Congress or Republicans, immaturely chanting "nah nah 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 hey 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 goodbye" when he was kicked out. When you got J.D. Vance and Trump up there can't even button up their jackets when they're sitting down. When you have the lies on the Biden administration from everything about inflation to crime to taxes to jobs. Every single thing was a lie, and people can talk. But people want to just talk about Democrats and their bingo cards and the like. Let's talk about the fact that Democrats who leave there are actually going to have town hall meetings. Let's talk about the fact that those Republicans who cheered every single thing that Trump said are not having town halls. And all you people who are at those town halls making so much noise, are you going to be coming to DC to show up at their doors? Because people should have been paying more attention to what their congressperson was doing in standing and applauding for Trump when he sat there and told the farmers to go out there and have a lot of fun. What the hell does that mean? Have fun? Have fun with your markets being cut off to the rest of the world? Telling people, farmers, just sell your products in America? This is a man who fundamentally doesn't understand the economy, and he's telling people to have fun? Oh, this tariff thing's going to be a rough ride or a little tough or rough for the moment? Like, seriously? Sitting there talking about what you're doing for cancer research when you're cutting it, and there's people there whose children are literally suffering from it. This is what the Republicans applauded. So all of this nonsense, all of this talk about what Republicans are saying behind closed door, they care about they're concerned about the tariffs and so on and so forth. They care about the job cuts as they're begging for exemptions. They're all up there applauding. What are you going to do about that, America? That's the bigger issue. The bigger issue, and you saw Senator Slotkin's response, was talking about what people should be doing today, from calling members of Congress to showing up, to making phone calls, to showing up at offices, to organizing in your community, right? This is that time. And if you're not going to be part of an organization fighting for change because you don't like what the NAACP is doing or this group's doing or Urban League or this group's doing, then start your own. But this is a call for everybody right now. As Reverend Barber said, we're not backing down. This man got up there, as expected, and denigrated the United States, lied about everything from the worst point in inflation history, and got up there with insults to people like Senator Warren in the audience, calling her Pocahontas. And people talk about, we used to talk about, being able to disagree without being disagreeable. The man got up there and not only lied, but also insulted people, because this is what he does. We know this is what he does, which is why there was no point in watching it in any way, shape, or form live to give him those ratings that were desired. The question becomes, what do you do about it? How does the fight continue? How does the work continue? Because these people are determined to give him a pass in every way, shape, or form. And people are like, well, Democrats didn't throw Marjorie Taylor Greene out back in the day when she wore the hat. Yo, all of that stuff's in the past. All in the past right now. And so really when it comes down to it, this man has made it clear what he's doing. And even if these ideas, they're saying things like, the tariffs are probably going to end today, or they're probably going to end tomorrow, or won't go through the week because it's part of the negotiate. Like, No. What American is sitting down in their home right now thinking about what the Target CEO said, what the Best Buy CEO said about prices going up and so on and so forth, is going to all of a sudden the next day say, oh my gosh, I'm glad these tariffs are gone. That's not how it works. You think Target still isn't going to raise prices? You think that Trump's not going to get mad and raises, tariffs again the next week or so? Like, this is not how it works. And so the American anxiety that comes with these cuts, the choices that parents and families have to actually make, the choices that farmers have to actually make when these things are introduced, farmers and other families in America plan for the future, don't have the ability to just not care because the income is just all there. Savings is a challenge in this country for many. So when people are hearing tariffs are being cut and they don't know for how long and so on and so forth, you're going to cut tariffs on, introduce the tariffs on Tuesday and then Thursday say they're gone. Americans have already made their decisions and changes for what their plans are going to be like, from dropping J care to figuring out what they're going to do because harvest season isn't coming. People can't afford this up and down. These type of negotiations should be done behind closed doors. This is not a negotiating tariff. This is instilling economic terror on Americans. And so that, whatever that was, some people call it, the hate of the union. Some people are calling it the, divided states, whatever. That's exactly what it was. But how many times do Trump and his Republican, basically cronies at this point, have to show you who they are before you stand up? And so rather than spend this morning condemning the Democrats, talking about how they destroyed this and everything and didn't stand up the way they should have last night, they are not the ones in control. They are not the ones in power. What are you going to do to challenge the people who are in power right now? I just voted in a special election here in Maryland. There's elections going on all across the country. You could be organizing, you could be running for office, you could be showing up at your congressperson's door because they're not going to have town halls. This is on you right now. This is on me right now. This is on we right now to continue to fight and to continue to challenge. Yes, demand Democrats do more if you're unsatisfied, but don't be demanding them to do more and demanding nothing of the Republicans because this is just what we expect. No, they will respond to power. They will respond to demand. They will respond to action. They will respond to people showing up at doors, flooding the zone with the phone calls. They will respond to the news stories. They will respond to the stories of the federal workers who are losing their jobs and actually telling their stories. Remember, they are being terminated. There's a difference between layoff and termination. People get layoff / fired for cause. These terminations are destroying people with actual good performance reviews. And they're just being dismissed like they're nothing. Housing market being destroyed. This is fundamentally destroying America, and that's where the attention should be. That's where your attention should be. That's where my attention is going to continue to be. Let's get out there and continue to fight. Peace.